Hey YouTube, it's Pace2K here, and today I got a brand new video on here once again, and this time I'm going to be doing a Rookie of the Year video. This is for the 2019/20 season, and I'm thinking about doing this probably like every year or so, go over all of the awards that you can get obviously at the end of the year, like the most improved player, MVP. We'll get to all of those later, but for right now I do want to talk about the Rookie of the Year, and I came up with 10 contestants. Now that doesn't mean that these are the only guys that can actually win. There's obviously a lot more, but I just felt like these 10 are probably like the most. I'm definitely not the most likely, because I got some guys here that were picked in like the 26th pick, but I feel like they could actually make a run for it. Like, maybe they won't at all, but somehow, if they just start out very well, like Donovan Mitchell, like kind of just be the steal of the draft. I feel like some of these later guys that I'll talk about can definitely do that. And yeah, let's go and start out with the obvious one, which is Zion Williamson. So I think ESPN already talked about this as well. They ended up releasing a list, and he was at like 70 something percent of a chance to win Rookie of the Year, and I'd probably have to agree with that. He's definitely going to come in as the number one guy to win this Rookie of the Year award, because you just look at the Pelicans team, it's literally centered around him. Like, he will probably end up being the main option on that team, if not the second option, and I definitely think that the team is built around him. Like I said, you look at Alvin Gentry from last year and the year before, he's always really been this type of coach that centerizes his offense on big men, and Zion seems like he's going to be the next guy to do that. So, yeah, and then you got Lonzo Ball, going to be throwing up lobs to him and stuff. Like, this is literally the most perfect situation you can probably think of for a guy like Zion. He's going to come in, end up winning some pretty good amount of games too with this solid roster around him. So, yeah, definitely looking really nice for Zion right now. So the point guard, Ja Morant, is the next guy on my list, and I do believe that he is probably the second most likely player to win this Rookie of the Year award. And in my opinion, he's going to be in a system in Memphis. You could definitely argue that he is used to playing in a fast-paced offense, and Memphis doesn't really have that, or they haven't had that in a while. But I definitely think that they could probably fix that, with Ja on the team now and Mike Conley being gone. That means that Ja's going to have the keys to the offense. I definitely think that he could do really well over there with all the young talent over there, like Jaren Jackson Jr. They just re-signed, Jonas Valanciunas. They also got Dylan Brooks. They just have a very solid team over there in Memphis, where they could definitely build Ja Morant and, like I said, let him make some mistakes out there and also learn from them. So, yeah, next I do have Darius Garland, and this one's one of the most interesting ones in my opinion, because I did not like the draft not the draft, but this decision in draft night that the Cavs made. I do believe they should have taken Jarrett Culver, but it happened, so we have to obviously talk about it. Obviously, a lot of people are just, assuming that they're going to be the next Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. But even if that was to happen, even if that were the case, and they just blow up into, superstar and star, I still don't like this pairing, because they're just going to be so undersized. It's just terrible defensively that I just don't like this pairing, like I said. Now, I could definitely see Colin Sexton potentially getting better on defense. He was really good in Alabama, so maybe he could get better. But, he's just so undersized that I just don't know how this is going to work out. Something that I could see happening is that Darius Garland is just so good and he ends up winning Rookie of the Year, or just being that good to win it, that Colin Sexton ends up being traded. I could definitely see that happening, or maybe the other way around, and then Darius Garland can flourish on another team. That could definitely happen, but I don't think they're both going to be a long-term project for the Cavaliers. I do believe that one of them will get traded eventually. So, yeah, that's just me, though. So, I literally just talked about how Jarrett Culver should have probably gone to the Cavs, but obviously they ended up picking Garland, and then he went to Minnesota. So, I definitely am cool with this. I believe that he will probably be the second ball handler on the team, if not the main one. And, yeah, once again, I do believe he is going to be a really good player, and he is going to have the opportunity to win Rookie of the Year, because his team isn't really all that deep. the Minnesota Timberwolves didn't really do all that much this offseason. They ended up losing Derrick Rose. So, like I said, they're going to need another ball handler, and I do believe that Jarrett Culver could do that for them, especially around Cat. I definitely think he's going to thrive over there. So, yeah, next we have Rui Hachimura. Now, Rui Hachimura, I definitely think that he is going to be really, really nice. You look at the Wizards roster, and it's really similar to the Jarrett Culver situation. He doesn't really have all that much talent on his roster other than Bradley Beal. So I do think that Rui is going to end up being really nice. If I had to pick a dark horse, I would actually pick Rui Hachimura to win Rookie of the Year. And you might be surprised by that, but honestly, if you really just look at their roster, the Wizards are very, very much in trouble. They really don't have anybody other than Bradley Beal to really be this offensive beast or anything like that. Like, they're very, very lackluster right now, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm definitely excited to watch them play. I've been watching Rui play for the Japanese team, and he's been looking pretty nice. So, yeah, let's go and see how he can do in the league, though. So next we have PJ Washington of the Charlotte Hornets, and if you want to go ahead and watch not my last video, but one of my other videos about the Hornets, then you're going to be really disappointed if you're a Hornets fan, but, I pretty much just trashed their entire front office. But anyways, PJ Washington, my real reason here is just because his team is so bad that he is actually going to have some really nice rotation minutes. So, yeah, that's really my reason right there. Not much to I just kind of sprinkled him on there. So, yeah, next we have Tyler Hero. This one is very important to me. I've watched him in Summer League, and this man is a lights-out shooter. He is definitely going to be one of the best shooters in the entire NBA at some point. And, I could definitely really regret saying these things, but I do believe that he is going to be really nice. He really just translates to today's game really, really well. I actually wanted the Pacers to get him, but obviously he went a lot sooner than I thought. Anyways, though, I do think that he is going to be really nice in Miami. I think he might actually end up starting in the team. Maybe not in the start of the season, but I do think that he is going to gradually get there, and maybe he just will be so good. And this is really just, if everything else fails and everybody's just kind of not that great in the rookie class, and he ends up being like a great second option in Miami next to Jimmy Butler, then maybe he ends up winning the Rookie of the Year award. And then next we have Brandon Clark. Brandon Clark did amazing in Summer League. He is another guy from Gonzaga like Rui Hachimura, and he's one of those guys that can't really shoot, but he can really get to the paint, and he can also really defend. Now, he's not, as tall or weighs as much as people thought originally, so that definitely brought his stock down. But I do think that he is going to be really nice in the league, and I could definitely see him winning Rookie of the Year if, like I said, everything else fails, and, they just really need a solid player to win it, kind of like Malcolm Brogdon did a couple years ago. So, yeah, that's my reason right there, and, yeah, on to the next one. So finally, I want to go ahead and end it off with a bang with two very, very slept-on players in Darius Baisley and also Dylan Windler from the Cavaliers. Now, Baisley is from OKC, but yeah, let me go ahead and break it down why both of these players are super, super slept on. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start off with Baisley and the Thunder. So, if you guys remember, Paul George and Russell Westbrook got traded this offseason, and that obviously sparked up a lot of changes in the Thunder organization. They're going for more of a rebuild now. They do have Chris Paul on the team and all that, but they are definitely rebuilding the team now. So Baisley is obviously a high schooler. Well, he was a high schooler. He's coming right off of high school. Didn't play in college at all. So if he honestly starts out well on this team, then he could potentially get a starting position and definitely win Rookie of the Year. Now, once again, this is very, very unlikely, but come on, man. He's a high schooler. These high schoolers, just look at a guy like Anthony Simons. That guy can really play if you watch him in Summer League, and I believe that Baisley could honestly do that in the league. He just needs the right opportunity, and he has that with the Thunder. Next, we have Dylan Windler, and I do want to talk about him as well because I watched some of his games in Belmont, I think is his college, and he looked really, really nice. He's actually from Indianapolis, so once again, Pacers fans, stand up. But yeah, honestly, I do think that he is going to be really nice. Like I said, if you watch some of his highlights, then you can definitely tell that he is built for today's game. I honestly think that this guy could be like the main option on the team. He really just needs the right opportunity, just like a lot of these slept on guys. They just need the right opportunity, because if they are given the right opportunity, then I truly believe they could be one of the best players. Well, I'm not going to say in the league, but one of the best rookies of their draft class. So yeah, that's really it for right there. If you paid attention, you could probably tell that a lot of these players that I talked about here did very well in summer league, and that's really one of my reasons for why they're going to be so good. If you really look at some of these other guys who didn't even play in summer league, they're going to have to go in and get their rusts out from the actual NBA. Like, they're going to have to end up playing their first games and be all nervous and all this, while most of these guys that I just talked about have already played, and they're just going to start off with a bang. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video though. Make sure you go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe. I've been noticing that a lot of people watch my videos, but not a lot of you subscribe. So let's go and get to 100 subscribers very soon. And yeah, make sure you also comment down below what you think about this. Make sure you comment down what rookie you believe will win the Rookie of the Award. Of the Year award. I said that wrong, but yeah, other than that though, I'll go ahead and see you all boys out.